Hello and welcome to Gus Codes. I am Gus, and in this session of xganso I will be implementing 3 improvements on the editor. First, I will make the option picker show only when the relevant tool is used. In this case, the rain type for the paint tile and team spawn for adding spawn. The second improvement will be showing the terrain information on the toolbar when using the pen tool tile, most likely in this part. Lastly, we will display the cell information, that is, coordinate the rain and spawn of the hovered cell, most likely around this area. Let's start coding. We'll start with the option picker. Here we have in the hex editor UI the edit tool menu. This is where we will extend this class. We have 4 radio buttons, one for each editor tool, and we have our both option pickers. What is good that we have is in that our hex editor state, all our variables are observables. What that means is that our observable, we can bind a callable, so a function, and whenever the value is set, it will call all these callbacks. We're gonna do that in our edit tool menu. First of all, we need to define a dictionary that will hold the option pickers. So we're gonna say option pickers, and we'll define as paint title. We'll have the first one, and add spawn we'll have the other one, and we're gonna define a function def on edit tool selected, which will gonna be a tool, and this is gonna be a hex edit tool. It will return none, and for option Okay, so every time that a tool is selected, we'll receive this callback with the tool that was selected. We disable everything and then we enable. Also, we're gonna put them in the same place. And what we also have to do is we have to bind the observable. So we're gonna bind self on edit tool selected, and we're gonna call on the current state. Let's run and see if it is working. Yes, I have to run on the editor. Okay, so it is not showing anything. Good. Yes, of course, we forgot to add them. Okay, save and let's try again. Perfect, it's working, and erase tile shows nothing. Add spawn shows the red, and remove spawn shows nothing. Okay, so here we go, we have our first improvement already. For the second part, we'll do this terrain info. First, we'll have to extend our UI elements and add a new widget, which will be the text. So we can put it right here. It should have this screen. The label, that's interesting, because the label is what we're gonna change. Area, no comment. And then the rest is standard color, background, over colors for the button. Okay. Actually over colors not. So we'll have to make this text dynamic, so we can add text to it. So it should be a little bit different than that. Yes, because this label is static element and it's usually a string. We have a little bit different here in the toggle, no, in the option picker, but it's usually only a string. So what we'll have in this case, we'll have a text. It's gonna be a list because we're gonna allow it to be multi-line. And here I think we can remove this, and we won't have any event, so just let it be. And the draw, okay, and now we already implemented a small idea in the battle UI, which we will refactor in the future. It's this part here. So let's maybe copy this here, because now we need the positioning. So this first part is the rectangle itself that contains all the area, and currently we are not making it dynamic, so we should know. Or we can make it dynamic. Okay, we need to def reset. The row size is gonna be 20. Okay, so let's try with that. So every time that we add the height, okay. Being fine, should be okay. Close enough. So we are adjusting each line, the position, and also we need to add the line surface. Okay, that should be fine. Let's get our widgets here. I have a very interesting. Okay. Maybe. Okay, let's try to see how it is. Okay, looks good. Maybe this little doesn't need it, so we can skip this. Looks fine. Perfect. And here we can adjust as we need. And let's see what happens every time that we... Yeah. Oh, yes, yes. Okay, yeah, it keeps growing, so that looks good. So now we have our text, and let's see how we can incorporate this with our editor. So I was thinking about putting it in the edit tool menu below the option picker. So we can add a widget here, text. Well, maybe the order. Let's okay, and now let's go with 820. Good. We have to say we add another method here on terrain selected. So that's gonna be a terrain. Of course. And now we can take inspiration of our battle UI. Let's terrain, type name, walkable, and the move cost. Is there anything else we need to add in our from our terrain? No. So that's it. And then of course, oh yes, so yeah, I don't like this one, but it is what it is. Maybe we can do different. So we can create a terrain text and then have it here as a list. So that means all the widgets that are added, so we don't need this. And then here we can say for widgets and for perfect. Maybe here we just say it's a list of, and no, it's a dictionary. Yes, okay. And here, okay. And of course now we have to add, so we take the state terrain and we bind our new method and we call it with the method. Maybe we can, maybe here we can, on the observable, we are always calling it. No, it's fine, let's not force this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Editor. The object list is no. Okay. Of course. So perfect. Okay, it's there and it's not there. The only thing is the placement is wrong. Of course I'm using 50, no, I have to 185 plus 35 to 20, and the size, it's gonna grow naturally, so we don't have to worry about that. Perfect. Terrain type grass, walkable, move cost, and every time that we change has perfect. Great. So that's complete our second part, our second improvement. Let's do the third improvement. The cell information is gonna be very similar as the terrain. So we're gonna come here to the hex editor map, and the question is where it should be located. I think I'm gonna create kind of as an overlay, so it's gonna be a new one. So I'm gonna create a new panel, so it's gonna be the cell information panel. Again, there's not gonna be a handle event, and in the build widgets, just and the size is gonna be 180. Can I have something similar? And the positioning is gonna be 40 for this one. It's gonna be, so it's 1440 minus 180. That's gonna be this thing. We can add this, and now the question is, okay, it's a hex coordinate. So there will be two cases. Maybe we can see how this hovered cell is being used. Okay. Fine. We can also take notes from the battle UI. So we're gonna take these three parts. So it's gonna be similar as the one before. Okay. Maybe we can copy this one. Okay, good. So now what we have to do is get the cell from the coordinate. Okay, yes. So it's already a coordinate, that's great. So first what we have to do is say we actually don't need the cell, so let's just set the terrain and the spawn. Okay, so we can say terrain equals no, let's leave it like this, and they spawn. So if the coordinate is there, so dot terrain and spawn equals so there's always a spawn. Okay, and then let's simplify this terrain and here spawn name. and so there's always going to be a coordinate, but terrain and spawn may not be the case. And now here we say okay. Oh, true. This one is the area, and the other area should make relative, so I could so it's gonna be 5, 5, and the rest is fine. Okay. Okay. There's not gonna be an event, and it's always gonna be drawn, and this one should be okay. Let's see how it's working so far. Okay, non-type. Let's leave that. Okay, it's not updating anything, and the question is why. Okay, let's do some quick and dirty debug to see what's happening here. Okay, there are coordinates being displayed here, but for some reason it's not updating. Oh yes, so the panel, it's only 30. Okay, so I think I have to make the panel bigger. So maximum is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lines, 200 maybe. And we put a little bit here and there. Okay. Yes, exactly. Now if we load, it's saying everything. Okay. The only thing is these parentheses are annoying, but then we can fix. And we can make it a little bit smaller. Okay, let's go back here. So 50, this one, and 4. Okay. It's perfect, so oh, maybe we can make the no, let's leave it like that, the panel to be completely sized. Okay, so now the only thing that I wanted to do is that, as we can see here, it's kind of duplicated this headline. So I want to create a formatter. I'm gonna say, and it's only gonna have static methods. Cell, gonna return a list of string. I'm gonna receive a cell, I guess. Yes. So here it's gonna be cell, and gonna have format terrain. Okay, and so let's start with this one. So the terrain is gonna return okay, and of course the okay. Perfect. And the spawn perfect, and the format cell is gonna return Okay. Now we're gonna have a new method here. Okay. Okay, let's try. Everything seems to be working here, and everything seems to be working there as well. Let's review our changes quickly. We changed the main widgets to test our new text widget. We changed our hex editor UI with some new edits, text, hex coordinate, hex cell. It wasn't there, the coordinate? Huh, interesting. And we added a new text formatter, and then we extended the edit tool menu to have this new information about the terrain and also the option picker to be selected, which should be shown. And we added the cell information panel and we added it into the main screen. And for the elements, we added the new text widget and we just removed it. And those are the changes for today. The coding session is now over. Let's look at our game design document. So single option picker based on 2, that was done. Show information of the range, that's done, and of the cell, that is also done. And now the next one that we're gonna work on is this battle view with the units. We already used some elements of the battle UI. We're gonna start refactoring that and make it sure that's up to code standards with the rest of the code. And with that we can review our changes, add them, and commit. So I'm gonna start to write which session happened. Session 2, improvement of editor, and then let's write option picker according to 2. And let's commit to our project. To summarize, today we implemented 3 improvements on the editor: the option picker, the terrain information, and the cell information. We leveraged the lightweight framework we developed previously, making the option picker change really easy to implement. For the new information improvements, we extended the UI framework to have a text widget. After that, we refactored the previously implemented UI elements for displaying information, adapting them to the code standards. Thank you for your time, and see you in the next session.